In this episode, Jim and I are going to go through the nuances of building trust in the customer relationship. We're going to talk about your reason why, and we're going to connect those pieces together so you can really think about why you're on this planet and how to live out your goals through a clear process. But I want you to stay to the end because Jim breaks down what a lot of people miss when running a business. And in some ways, once you get it, it changes the way you think. So stay until the end. If you made it until the end, leave a dolphin emoji in the comments below and enjoy.
How you can be the greatest salesperson on the planet.
Welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I am joined by Jim Shorkey. Jim, one of the things you are so strong in is just being clear about your reason why. People are coming in, they've never met you before. You now need to build a level of trust with them, right? This is the first time you're meeting them. And I really think your reason why and training and all those other things play into it. But I think you as a person need to have a reason why that in some ways builds trust. You've met someone for the first time. You have your list of what you're doing, both in training and in your personal life. How do you build that level of trust? Can you build trust throughout the 2-hour conversation that you're having, i.e. buying a car? And how does that work?
I have a very defined process, and the idea behind my process is to create value.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is create so much value that when I enter into a pricing scenario, it's really going to come across as hopefully why so cheap. I mean, I get all the stuff for that would be my goal. And I know that sounds a little flaky, but that's the goal.
Right.
It becomes monumentally inexpensive compared to what I'm asking for the car. To where it's a no-brainer. It's, I'll buy the car. I'm a big believer in building value versus cutting price. Do we cut the price? Do I cut the price? That depends on the scenario. Sometimes that's a necessity to make the budget work or whatever. I get that. But the bottom line is I want to create so much value that it becomes pretty much a no-brainer. But it's like an organic building of trust. Our goal with this process here, called Results from Thinking, Rethink You, the podcast, is to have it grow organically. So if you'll notice, I'm not a believer in clickbait. I don't want to do that nonsense. If you want to listen to me, let's get it on. If you don't, then keep scrolling, move on. It's okay. This isn't for everybody. If I want you to do it so bad that I keep pushing it on you, that's a bad idea in my opinion. So I want it to be good quality information gleaned from my successes and failures in life, in business, and whatever. I want it to be, I had a stroke. Why did I have a stroke? Part of it is because I messed up. Made mistakes. And so I'm working on making up for lost time. But I have this idea. And I told Derek back when I was in the hospital, I said, Derek, in order for me to reclaim my body, which I had to do, I'm going to do exactly what I did for my part in building the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group. That's what I'm going to do to reclaim the Jim Shorkey body. Did I not say that?
You did.
It's right there, black and white. Jim, your HbA1c is good, but it's high. So I look at that and think that's contrary to the goal
That I've set.
And I remember, I'm studying Dr. Peter Tia, Outlive, and it's like he's talking again about how many times do we need to hear about added sugar before we finally figure out what? I'm thinking, Jim, you are so full of crap. Like, I'm not perfect. I mess up, but I'm still eating my potato chips, eating my pretzels, eating my this, eating that, doing the sugar because this is organic sugar.
I've done that before. Yep.
Bull crap. So I just said, you know what, Jim, that's enough. Stop. So you may think I'm a hero for stopping sugar. Why did I stop the added sugar? Because I have to if I want to lower the HbA1c. Why did I stop the potato chips? Because I have to if I want to lower the HbA1c. So eliminated the added sugar I'm talking, I eliminated. Also the ultra processed foods. Why did I do that? Because I want to lower my HbA1c. Why do I want to do that? Because that's a really important marker for longevity. Why do I want to live a long life? We're back to the great grandchild. And it makes me very emotional to think that I would miss that. You know what? I almost did. I should have died. Yes or no?
Yeah.
I was at death's door. And it's a very scary thought. I almost did. And I wouldn't be here right now. That was 2 years ago.
And that even ties in a lot of like our kind of disjointed conversation we've been having here of like building trust, building value. It's like I'm building value and trust because I'm loving the team and loving the customer. I think I'm going to do well. I think customers are going to be served. If I'm doing well, then that leads me toward goals that I have. And it starts to connect it all back.
It sure does.
And it's, wow, that's powerful.
Well, a lot of people within that information we just shared, love the customer, love the team, keep it humble. They think that making money is somehow contrary to that. How the heck are you going to love your customers when you're broke? How the heck are you going to love your team when you're broke? How the heck are you going to keep it humble when you're broke? I don't know what you would be. You're sad, you're depressed, you're up. I was, at least. In order to serve my customers the best possible way, I have to make money. With that money, I can do things to take care of my customers. In order to take care of my team, let's just go something so simple as paying them a fair plus wage.
That's right.
Am I going to want to increase wages or lower wages?
Or if you have to keep them the bare minimum, you'll keep them.
You making money is a bad thing? I'll tell you point blank. People ask me all the time, what's the number one goal of a business? The number one goal of a business is making money.
Yep.
So many people miss that idea. And they'll say things like serving customers. No, serving customers is not the reason you're in business. You're in business to make money. Now, how do we make money? Serving customers.
Yep.
Okay. My number one reason for being in business, not to lower my HbA1c. Okay.
Yeah.
In order for me to do what I want to do, which is to be that great grandfather 30 years from now, I've got to lower my HbA1c. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So there's goals within goals. Okay. If you think making money is a bad idea when you're in business, you might want to consider getting out of business because it's very important.
You're never going to grow. You're not going to really help.
You have to make money.
Yeah.
You just do. That's the way it is. And I challenge anybody. Listen, we're not afraid of your comments. Tell me where I'm wrong. The number one reason for a business to be in business is to make money. Nothing is more important than that. And then the question becomes, if that's true, now how do we go about doing that? Love the customer. I do mean love the customer. And keep it very humble. And we said this for years in the automobile business when I was there. Stop looking for car sales. Start looking for customers. Treat them the very best way possible, and the car sales will find you. And so if you do the right things, the profits will find you. But to say that they're not important, yeah, that's a bad idea.
Jim, thank you so much for tying together these conversations we've had in the past few episodes. If you haven't watched them yet, guys, please do, about training, about how to train well, about process, leading into this conversation about how do I build trust in those initial conversations, and how does that lead to better serving customers, and how does that lead to the reason why, and how does that all connect to where you're doing things so you can see that goal you have out there. Again, watch the previous episodes, see how you get there. But you have this goal out there and you want to move towards it.
Let me ask you a question. Why do we train?
Why do we train?
The shortest answer you can give me. Why do we train?
To better serve the customer and the team.
The number one reason we're in business. Why do we train?
To make a profit.
Thank you. To make a profit. Now, if you lose sight of that, best of luck to you. We train to make a profit. How do we make a profit? Love the customer, love the team, keep it very humble. That's our parlance. You have your own, that's fine. But we train to make a profit. At the end of the day, you better know a few things. One, what is the strength of your balance sheet? Two, what does your income statement look like? Three, how much cash do you have in the bank? Not how many bananas, not how many oranges. How much cash do you have in the bank? And do you have enough? Making money isn't important. Yes, it is. We train so that we can increase our cash balance, so that we can better run our business.
That's right.
Okay?
Yes.
Money and making money is really important.
It's crucial. It's crucial. Jim, thank you for tidying me up there. I think it's making a profit, but I'm going to say this. If this episode is valuable to you, in the comments below, I think we went from really granular ideas to also more grandiose ideas. So tell us what you learned and what you gleaned from this episode in the comments below. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, guys.
Thank
And we'll
you.
see
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
on the next episode.